well, so video 2 of who knows how many videos. It's just kind of fun to be able to get together and do this and discuss a lot of different things. So this video in particular, we're going to talk about, I guess, like high school dating and our first year of marriage, in order to understand like what God's done in our life and who we are today and how we've gotten here. I think it's important to kind of figure out and discuss where we've come from and who we were to start with. So you want to talk about
how we met and
yeah.
Okay. We met in August, I think, of 2004. 2004, because we were both sophomores in high school, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then you moved here from Maine, but I had lived in Florida my whole life. And yeah, we met. We were in the same geometry class together that sat next to each other, and you were like really pale and freckly and cute, and you did not fit into the Florida boy mold that you're not tan and blonde and all that. So
I spent my years hiding from the sun.
Yeah, but you were so funny. Like, you would crack me up. You were definitely the class clown. You would have like dance-offs in class with like some of the other kids in class.
I guess that's always kind of been a good, I don't know, personality or character trait of mine. Is I've always been kind of outgoing and like clownish and joke around a lot.
You it became like an instant friend, like, and somebody that I was like always like really comfortable around and like felt like safe around, and which was really cool because like normally around boys, like when I was so awkward and stuff, but or like nervous, but I never felt that way around you. I just always felt like really comfortable and like myself.
I liked you as a friend, but like I instantly knew that like I wanted you to be more than a friend. And like you're super cute, funny.
But when we met, I was already dating somebody.
You were, yeah.
And then
rather annoying.
Yeah, and I would like cry to you about all of my boy problems and all that stuff.
And I'd sit there and smile and listen to him, and in my head I was like,
break up.
break up.
Yeah. And then I remember on my 16th birthday that he actually like wrote in my guest book, like for my sweet 16
Your
birthday party.
Then,
yeah, that he broke up with me in that, but I was like totally oblivious that he did that. I thought he was just saying that we had problems that we needed to work on, but he like legit broke up with me, and I didn't even realize that until this week when we went to go pull out all of our memory stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, he was totally breaking up with me, and I just didn't realize it.
Yeah.
I feel like completely.
Her reaction was pretty funny. I was like, babe, do you need a moment? Like,
I just was hurt all over again. Like, who does that? Breaks up with somebody that's in a permanent record, like on my birthday. Like, that's so messed up. Not cool, Chad. Not cool.
Whoa,
but anyways,
it's kind of fun.
It is kind of funny, but it just goes to, I felt like in that episode of Parks and Rec when Chris Traeger and Anne like break up, but she doesn't realize it, and that's how I feel like. But anyways, I know, right?
All right,
literally
back on topic.
the worst breakup ever. But anyways.
So
then me and him broke up. You and I were friends for all of our sophomore year.
Yep.
Didn't really talk to each other a lot over the summer.
Right.
I think I was working as a lifeguard that summer at the YMCA, so I was pretty busy. I was working a lot.
I was working at Cap World Truck Accessory Store and McDonald's, and
and then when we started our junior year, I was dating someone else, and we broke up because we were better off as friends.
But I was dating somebody.
You were dating somebody.
And
But then I told your best friend that I had a crush on you, and of course he told you because that was the goal. And as soon as you found out that I liked you, what did you do?
Broke up with her. Sorry.
So then on my birthday of 2006, you sent me this adorable.
She still has this.
Look at this in my wallet.
I found out 2 weeks ago. Oh, 3 weeks ago. She still has this.
You sent me this adorable little note that says, "Happy birthday. I hope you have a great day. Question, will you go out with me? Love, Brandon."
Question.
It was so cute.
I should have put check yes or no, but I thought that was cheesy.
So I was so excited and like so happy. And
she didn't answer me the whole class. I sat there like behind her.
I wrote pass notes in class to get in trouble. I was the teacher's pet. You were a class clown and I was the teacher's pet.
I sat there the whole like 45 minutes wondering what she was thinking.
And then I
no
made
idea.
you wait all the way until we walked to our next class to be like, so about that note you wrote me, because you didn't ask, you were too scared to ask what the answer was. I was like, yes, I'll go out with you. So then that's how it started. It's like we were boyfriend and girlfriend from that point forward. And so we had so much fun together. We were probably together like every weekend, and
we spent as much time
we went to downtown Disney a lot and went to the movies and went bowling. Together. We played mini golf. We
got to just know each other. Went to the beach.
What else did we do?
Well, we went to the beach once when we should not have gone to the beach. We got in trouble for that, but it was fun. We explored, and we used to go to this haunted house.
Oh gosh,
that was always funny.
Yeah.
But anyways, we just got to know each other really
basic
well.
High school stuff,
but
football games. We went to homecoming together.
Yeah, but I never really went to her house. She came to my house a lot, but she was a Christian, and I was not. So I think the first time I met your dad was actually when
we went to
you invited me to Strongman.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Team thing at our church. Yeah,
is that what it's called? Strength team or Strongman team? Strength team.
Yeah,
but that was really cool.
Come do feats of strength and share the gospel.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
I remember that because we started dating and you were like not sure what you believed about God, and so I would be like, you gotta come to church with me, and so you would come because you wanted to hang out with me, so you'd come hang out with me, and then at that strength team,
dating. What is it?
Evangelical dating.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah. So then at that strength team thing, right? You said that's when I
really started really feeling like, oh man, there's got to be something more to it, because I had been going to church a little bit with you here and there, and
you went with one of your friends' families before we started dating.
Yeah. Blake, he was always a good friend. Him and his parents were really just in touch with the Lord, and they'd ask me questions all the time about that. But eventually I came to accept Christ as my Lord and Savior while I was going to First Baptist of Kissimmee, with you.
And you got baptized.
And I did. That's where I got baptized and all that. So
that was cool.
But then we realized senior year, went through all summertime, dating.
Yeah, and everybody's making plans for college or whatever they're doing after college.
I put in an application to USF in Tampa, and I got accepted, and you did the same thing.
I got accepted at a different college, so I got accepted at Florida Southern, and so I didn't want high school to end and for us to be apart, and you didn't want to either. All I could see beyond high school was Brandon.
Yeah, you just hear about people going to college and drifting away. And
I didn't want that, because I was I already found the guy that I love. I don't need to go we don't want to break up and go our separate ways. So.
And I was so young, and I didn't know much, but I knew that I really loved you. And
I loved you.
And I felt like it was real,
I didn't want to lose you, and you didn't want to lose me, and so to us, it just seemed natural. The next step would just be to get married.
Yeah, and I think I remember asking you to marry me one time.
You
said
me
no a couple times. The first time, I think it was the first time. One of the times, it was in the school parking lot in my car.
That was the final time when I said yes, and I didn't change my mind.
That was the one that got it?
Yeah, that was the one that got it.
Well, I asked you once at the beach, in the water.
Yeah.
Was that after you scared me with the shark, or was that when we saw the dolphins?
I don't know. I don't know.
And then, unfortunately, I don't remember the first one.
The first one was just passing in conversation, and you were
we should get married.
Would you ever marry me? And I was like, yeah, I would marry you.
Well, that doesn't count.
Okay, well, it counts to me because it felt official.
Okay,
and I was like, hold on, we can't get married. We're 17. This is nuts.
Officially
who
3.
would do that? Only reason why people would do that is if they're getting somebody's pregnant, and I was not pregnant. So I was people are gonna think that though, that this is a shotgun.
Well, when we told people that we were getting married, a lot of people did think that.
Yeah, they were
we were pregnant and stuff.
I'm pregnant. I just love him, and I know what I'm talking about because I'm 18 and I know everything.
Yeah.
I have figured out the world. I have reached the height of education. I can't possibly learn anything else. I know everything that there is.
So this was 2006 and 7, and we were still in high school, senior year.
Yep.
And
so I turned 18 on my birthday, January 24th.
Yep.
And then 3 weeks later, we got married.
Yeah, 100% made it happen, and we found out real quick that life is hard.
Being adults is hard.
Yeah.
So you need things like health insurance and money job and things like that. So when we first got married, we rented a room in a house
with other people
that were also renting rooms out of. Nuts. And I think our rent was like $300 a month.
Yeah.
And then what were your jobs?
I was working at Medieval Times, Cap World on Saturdays, and McDonald's.
Yeah, and I was working at Skate Reflections, making $7 an hour.
And then I was
working
still
at Medieval Times also as a waitress serving winch. But that job sucked because I only had that job for a very short time because I hurt my finger really badly. I cut my finger open like 3 days after we got married. I sliced my finger open.
With what?
I sliced my finger open with a butter knife opening a banana. And I damaged some, I can't feel it still, it feels weird here. I damaged some nerves here, and we had to go to the ER for the very first time
in
my life.
Yeah,
and I had to get stitches for the first time in my life. And then we were like slapped with that medical bill, and we were like, oh.
It was like $900 or something. I was like, I'm paying this? Like, what?
Yeah, like, how we don't have the money for this?
Yeah.
So we were like, crap, this sucks. We really need to do something about this whole health insurance thing. But then we kind of blew it off because we're like, we'll figure it out. And then you were working your 3 jobs, right?
Yeah.
Cap World.
Actually, I ended up failing my English class.
Yeah,
so she had all of her requirements done to graduate.
Yeah, I graduated on time.
Waited to do my English class, and I was taking AP Literature, but I was not going to school.
You had to have English to graduate.
So I had to actually take a summer English class in order to get my diploma.
Well, so then disaster happened with the place that we were renting, and the owner decided to like up and sell the house right out from under us. We didn't have like a formal lease or contract or anything, so there really wasn't anything we could do about it. He just said, I'm selling the house and I want you out by the end of the week.
But your grandmother's an actual sweetheart.
Yeah, they took us in, my Nana and Pap, and we stayed in their spare bedroom. And the people that we were living with thought it was our fault that we were all of us getting kicked out of the house. So they cut the cords on every appliance that we owned. Like anything electronic, they cut all the cords on it. It was horrible. I was so heartbroken because some of that stuff we had gotten for our wedding. And so I was so upset. It wasn't a good situation in the first place. But I was really upset about that. And so then we had moved in with my grandparents, which was like really tough because we wanted to do it on our own. We wanted to be independent, and we wanted to like.
It was humbling. Like
and
I wanted to be able to support
bad because I didn't want my grandparents to have to like take care of us or anything. So when we were living with them, we were trying to figure out like what are we gonna do? Like we have to figure out something. Like we can't survive on $7 an hour. Like we got to do something. And then we were watching a movie with my grandfather, right?
Yeah, The Guardian.
The Guardian. He's like a rescue swimmer in the Coast Guard.
Yep.
And so
and I had played water polo. I loved
if it
water
was you
sports.
or me that was like, I think I heard the military has free health care.
Yeah.
Which is something we needed. And so we were like, we should look into that. And then so then you did. You went back to our room and like got on the computer and started looking it all up.
Yeah.
And you said, or I think I said, like, if you're going to join the military, you should just join the best branch, which is the Marines. And I don't even know where I heard that because I don't even know anyone that was a Marine.
I didn't know anything about the military. I didn't even know my dad was in the military until 2015.
Yeah.
Like well into after being in the military.
So we were like, so then this recruiter like shows up at school one day.
I filled out like an online questionnaire.
He shows up and he talks to you and like you call me and are like, the recruiter came to see me today, and I was so pissed. I was like, who the heck does this guy think he is? He's not gonna come and like invade your personal
and someone was like, you should get an annulment if you don't want
to join the military and go off to war, because it was 2007.
Yeah.
And so Iraq and all that was like still like really intense. And so I'm like, I don't want him to go off to war. Like we just got married and he's gonna go off and like leave. That wasn't part of the plan. And so but then like the recruiter, you're like, just come to one meeting. And so I'm like, I'm gonna come to one meeting, but you're not signing anything. We're not doing this. We're just going. I'm just going because you want me to, and that's it. But then we both ended up joining. So we'd say he was a really good recruiter because he got 2 for 1.
Yeah, he made it like competitive, and she tested better than I did.
He put us on the buddy program, so we could go through boot camp and everything together.
And at that point, another thing that was like really pushing us, so like they do these little cards and stuff, you know, what are you looking for in the military? And I'd always wanted school because I wanted to be a doctor for the longest time. I wanted travel. like I wanted to be able to travel around, and I needed health care because you also had the kidney infection.
And then like in the summer after we got married, like I was having really bad like lower abdominal pain, and so bad, like, and so I didn't know what was happening. I had a doctor tell me before that I had ovarian cysts, so I thought possibly maybe one of those cysts was rupturing or something. So I went to the hospital, and they told me that I was pregnant, but that I was having a miscarriage. And so I was so like I was so naive that I didn't really even understand. I didn't even understand really what that meant. And so I didn't really like grieve that because I didn't really understand like what that meant. They just kind of were like, you had this, but now you're fine. And I was like, but you're gonna be fine. And so I was like, okay. And so they just sent me home with some Tylenol or something, and we're like, you're fine. Like, there's nothing we can do for you. You'll be fine. And so that I just carried on. Like, all right, well, whatever.
So we had
Tylenol,
thousands of dollars of medical bills
that we could not afford to pay. Like counting pennies at Walmart. I remember that so clearly. Like counting pennies at Walmart changed so that we could literally buy like ramen and like Kraft mac and cheese, but with no milk or butter because we couldn't afford the milk and butter. So but we didn't care because we were just like happy to be on our own. So we were like, I'll eat my ramen and mac and cheese. I don't care. Like, so that's what we lived on, like that, when we were trying to make it on our own, which is real cute when you're 18. It's not so cute after that.
So we both signed up for the Marine Corps. And then so we got married February 2007, and then September.
I had that bad kidney infection.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks before we went to boot camp. I was in the hospital for like 5 days.
Yeah.
It was bad.
And we didn't really like think of this until like recently, but the fact that medical bill actually got paid by
a charity. I just remember I was like in and out because I was on so much medication. Some lady walked into the room and she was like, Mrs. Jordan, I just wanted to tell you my name's whatever from something charity, and we're going to take care of your medical bills, and you don't have to worry about them or whatever. You just worry about getting better. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. But I was in and out of it, and I didn't really realize like what was going on. I wasn't even thinking about medical bills at that point because I was so sick. I was just trying to survive and like not be.
And another funny little thing too, when we signed up for the military, they brought me into the office and they're like,
it's not funny. It's funny now. It wasn't funny then. It was scary then.
Do you know that you have a warrant out for your arrest in the state of Maine? And I freaked out. I thought they had the authority to arrest me. Like I started kind of crying and stuff. And luckily, I just had to call my grandmother in Maine. Thank you, Nana. She paid it off for me up there, and we sent her some money. And
to pay that.
But anyways, that was all taken care of.
But why did you have an unpaid ticket?
I shot tractors when I was 15 with a BB gun.
Well.
And there was I don't know, clerical errors or fines that I didn't finish paying off, whatever.
You didn't pay it. So
but anyways,
you paid it, and then you didn't have a warrant anymore. So that was good. So yeah, that was our almost went to jail scare story. But you also got a ticket while we were dating. Do you remember that? For obstructing walkways?
Look, I was a clown and I was crazy, and me and my buddies would roll around in a convertible Mustang, and we would play Daft Punk Around the World music, and
you were also in a Speedo.
Yeah, well, I had just finished practice with the
also
swim team
in a Batman
and
mask.
all that, and yes, we were blasting music, and I ran out. We drove by some construction workers. I was dancing during this whole thing, and
party boy dancing.
Yep, and then there was an old guy reading a newspaper on a.
But you were doing the beatbox while you were doing it.
Yeah, so but then we saw an old guy reading a newspaper on a bench.
Beatbox.
I don't remember the beatbox. No, I never did that.
Yes, you were. You're lying. You did it.
Ran up to this guy in a newspaper, and he was reading the newspaper in front of his face, and I two-fingered his newspaper down. Then there's this super just crazy kid in a Speedo, and I just started doing the party boy dance real quick, and then I ran away across the street, and then next thing I know, there's 3 cop cars that came up and blocked our stuff in.
That lake is right across the street from the police department, and so then all you hear is these sirens whoop.
And I'm sitting there in a Speedo with my Batman mask on, talking to these cops. And long story short, I got a ticket for jaywalking pretty much, but it's obstruction of public walkways and stuff. And that was kind of funny. So my recruiter had to make sure I paid that off and help with that. And then, so September comes and we ship to boot camp.
Yeah, so we went to boot camp in September.
Yep.
Did that.
And we were parked for 3 months.
Yeah.
From September 2007 to December 2007. And then we came back together for a month.
For boot leave.
Yep.
For over Christmas and New Year's.
Recruiter's assistance.
Boot leave, yeah.
Then we got some time there with each other and our family.
That was good.
And then not like a month after that, I shipped to Marine Combat Training and MCT North Carolina, and then a week after she went.
Yep. We were
so then
a week apart.
Yep. And then that was a month long. So it turned out like a month and a half. It took us to go there, graduate, and then go to our MOS school. So, and then that was like our first year.
Yep.
Not MOS school though, like ending MCT was our first year.
Yep.
Like our anniversary was spent with...
Yeah, you were in Fort Sill and I was in North Carolina.
I left her a voicemail knowing she'd get it after she graduated and got her phone back because they take our phones.
I celebrated my birthday and our anniversary in MCT. One of the girls in my platoon gave me her yellow like sponge cake MRE and somebody put a lit cigarette in it to like sing me happy birthday. And
so funny that.
It was so, yeah. Hey, good times though. You know?
It was good times.
Good times. So joining the Marine Corps was a good thing though because we had no other way to take care of ourselves. So really, it was the best option because it provided us everything that we needed, and it was a good thing. So I don't know where we would have been if we hadn't joined the military.
I don't either. Like it gave us direction and confidence.
It helped us grow up and like become adults.
Yeah, like that we can support ourselves.
They teach you everything. Like when you go to boot camp, they teach you how to do everything. I'm talking like brush your teeth.
Well, they
floss,
don't really give you time.
Shower, do your hair, how to take care of your clothes, how to wash laundry, how to clean, everything. Like, I mean, if your parents don't teach you a single thing growing up, you will learn it in the military. So I still make our bed the way that they taught us in boot camp, like with the
she yelled at me the other day for not folding the corner of our bed.
Gotta have triangles. They have to be crisp. They better be able to bounce a penny or a quarter off that sheet.
Yeah.
Good to go.
So, regardless, joining the military was like one of the best things that her and I had done, and it gave us like more purpose and direction as we matured in not just our relationship, but our development of our careers and like our journey with God.
Yeah.
And at that point, like it was distracting a little, like going to all those courses and stuff. And in boot camp, I guess a lot of the joke is like everybody gets religious in boot camp because the only day off you get is Sundays, and it's not a day; it's like a 3-hour window, and you get to escape to go to church for 2 hours. So everyone's like, "I'm going." But anyways, and then MCT comes, and you're just so busy, you don't have time for any of that. So there's just a lot of distractions that keep you from God's word and His direction and purpose. So like your direction and purpose kind of becomes like the Marine Corps' direction and purpose. And
I would say our first year of marriage was like just a year of like transitioning into adulthood.
Yeah, absolutely.
And being married, but like it was definitely a transition from being a child into an adult, like very quickly. But thank God for the Marine Corps that was able to give us that like backing of doing it in a way that we were safe and not gonna like, you've got a roof over your head, they give you food, they give you money, they give you doctors, like all that stuff, everything that you need to like become independent and be an adult, they provide that. So thankfully we did that because now we're here. So it's been a good thing for us. So
cool. So that's video 2. And next time
we're going to Costco. Driving across Mobile Bay right now.
Alabama.
Yeah. All right. Bye.